done in Lagos with faithfulness and truthfulness, it can be done elsewhere. We've seen it work in Lagos. Right.
And with that being said, we also have joining us now for in-depth discussion on this and other issues is the governor of Kaduna State, Uba Sani. Governor Sani is an engineer, politician, and activist who served as the senator representing Kaduna Central Senatorial District from 2019 to 2023. In 2015, he was appointed by the immediate past governor, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, as the special advisor on political and intergovernmental matters. Thank you so much for joining us, Your Excellency.
Thank you for having me.
Right, let's begin with the first off question now. First off, how would you describe your experience now as a governor of Kaduna State for the past 8 months? What can you tell us?
Thank you very much. What I can say here is that we're making some tremendous progress. And I can say that Kaduna State today, despite the fact that we've been having some series of problems of insecurity, just like many other states in Nigeria, we have been able to achieve a lot in terms of unifying the states. In the last month since I was elected and sworn in as the governor of Kaduna State, we've not experienced any problem of either communal, religious crisis in Kaduna State. And credit to our government, because we've been able to bring everyone together to the table. We made it clear when I was elected that we will run a government that has no any connection with anyone's political affiliations or religious affiliations, because we believe as a governor of Kaduna State, I'm a governor for everyone. And of course, today in Kaduna State, we have been able to take development to every part of the state, as we are speaking, irrespective of party differences or religious differences. And of course, that is the reason why virtually all the leaders of Kaduna State, both the Christian Association of Nigeria, the Jamaat Nasr al-Islam, and other relevant and major stakeholders have come together to work with us. And of course, I'm happy to say that a lot of leaders in Kaduna State who in the past have nothing to do with governance and government of Kaduna State are now working with me closely. If you look at what's happening from the former Vice President, Namadi Sambo, who is not a member of APC, to even Ramalanyaro, who was a former governor, have just returned back to APC last week, as well as some critical soldiers like General Zamani Lakhot and Malang Abakar Mustafa, who have been an APC, PDP stalwart for many years. And many of them have come together right now to work with us. They accepted our invitation and they are working with us. And I'm happy to say that their involvement in government as critical stakeholders have really helped us in bringing the state together, and I'm making sure that we got a lot of inputs and support from them.
Right. Now let's talk about this issue, the rising cost of living. We understand there is hunger in the land as we speak. Now talk to us on the steps you've taken now to address food prices and of course boost agricultural products amidst protests in states like Niger, Kano and Osun states. What is your state doing with regards to this concern?
Of course, if you notice that there have not been any uprising in Kaduna because of this issue of problem of hunger, because the organized labor, as well as market women, even non-governmental organizations, we have been working with them. Because of my antecedent as a civil rights activist, as someone who worked closely with labor unions, as well as working closely with market women, the smallholder farmers in the past, it is something that for me is very easy, and I brought them together. They are the ones driving this initiative we have initiated in Kaduna State. And of course, this problem of poverty is something we have already sat down with our people. Even before this alarm and this agitation, you remember 4 months ago precisely, I was able to predict that this situation might even come up. That was the reason why I was the only governor that signed executive order to be able to bring about 2.5 million underserved, underprivileged, and vulnerable and poor people within our society back to financial services sector. And we've been working closely with an agency in Kaduna called Kaduna. As we are speaking, we have been able to organize about 4,200 SMEs in Kaduna State. In the next 1 week or so, we have decided in our meeting last week to support them with some palliatives worth about 4.2 billion naira, directly going to the vulnerable and households and some small businesses. We have captured them. That was the essence of my decision to sign executive order. And as we are speaking right now, over 1.5 million have been brought back to financial services sector and in Kaduna State. This is what we've been doing at the level of state. And this effort is a joint effort between Kaduna State government and organized labor, as well as market women, even people with disability, as well as smallholder farmers. So we are working closely. We have been proactive in Kaduna State. That is the reason why the labor unions are supporting what we are doing, because we made our government open. I recall, even before we presented our budget to the State Assembly, we held a town hall meeting where I insisted that we cannot decide on what we will do to the people of Kaduna State, except, and of course, until we bring everyone together to the table. And at that town hall meeting, if you could recall, we emphasized the decision to run an open government where we bring organized labor, civil rights organization, market women, smallholder farmers, critical stakeholders from traditional rulers down to religious leaders and community leaders. And they made input, and that was what we took to the State Assembly. And today, that is what the budget looks like. And that was the reason why, if you look at our budget, we budgeted about 22 billion in agriculture. That was the first in the history of Kaduna State. And because of the inputs we received from our people. And that's the reason why today we're on the same page with our people.
Right. So let's quickly look at this issue where many people, including governors like yourself, wanted the petrol subsidy to be removed. Now that it has been removed and it's kind of inflicting hardship on the people, do you subscribe to the idea of bringing back petrol subsidy? What are your thoughts?
I think let me make it clear to all of you, because you see, my position is clear. I have been an advocate of fuel subsidy removal since I was in the Senate, because it is clear to all of us that only very few Nigerians who are powerful that are benefiting from the so-called fuel subsidy. And of course, if you live in Nigeria, you will agree with me that very few people, numbering hundreds of them, that are benefiting from the fuel subsidy in Nigeria. So, but this time around, when the fuel subsidy was removed by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, most of us really applauded his decision, commended his effort. But that is only one step. The second step is, look, and which is more important. Every governor in Nigeria have been getting more money than we used to get before the removal of subsidy. For instance, in Kaduna State, in May, precisely, or in June, we had to borrow money to pay salary. But when fuel subsidy removal reflected in our own allocations, we have some surplus of money. That's the reason why I'm telling you we were able to come up with this initiative. If you recall, 3 months ago, I've been able to pay pensioners, even death benefits and gratuity worth about 3.5 billion to our people in Kaduna State. And that is a result of the fuel subsidy removal. And of course, because of fuel subsidy removal, that's the reason why we have been able to attract most of this effort we're making to our smallholder farmers, as well as the SMEs in Kaduna State, under an agency called Kadena. We are distributing 4.3 billion in the next 1 week. That is because of fuel subsidy. So, of course, removal. And I think, but there's a lot of misconception about this issue. Everyone in Nigeria is blaming President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. For me, is missing the point. Because governance is about local governments, state governments and the federal governments, as well as effort by the National Assembly. They have also a role to play in ensuring that most of these budgets they made at the level of the federal government, the money is being channeled to developmental areas that affect the people directly by some of these